How's it hanging, YouTube? This is King of Feral Imps, and welcome to, well, it's not exactly Spooktober. This is, November now, but I guess this kind of fits in with the theme and just sneaks in at the tail end. Fluffals. Now this is after the sneak peek, so I am using most of the new cards. I was not able to get a Sabertooth, of course, because nobody pulled it by the time I had left. And it's somewhat hard to get, but you don't need it currently. But I will be picking one up later, or maybe I'll be getting a box and I'll be able to pull it from there or trade for it. Either way, this is the build that I'm using right now. It's still under a lot of work, and I could use some suggestions. So afterwards, just go ahead and leave a comment and give some suggestions, and I will be testing this out and we'll be updating it as that goes. Before I start, I just want to go ahead and plug my other channels. My Pokemon channel for Alligator Rex, and my personal / vlog channel, Josh Can't Read. Links in the description. So let's start this profile. First for monsters is 3 Fluffal Dog, or Fluffal Doge. Still calling it that. I know Doge isn't that funny, but I still like it. But, anyway, this is pretty much the main monster. One of the best ones. So many of them are so much better now. What Dog does is when he's normal or special summoned from the hand only, not the deck or grave, you can go ahead and add 1 Fluffal or 1 Edge Imp Sabers from your deck to your hand. So it searches every Fluffal but only one of the Edge Imps, just the Sabers. So that's pretty much what makes him good. He's also a good level 4, 1700 beater. Sometimes I found sometimes he ends up staying on the field, and I do not have to attack with him, but just kind of keep him on the field. But mostly he's there to search out all your stuff, and probably one of the best searching cards. And he's the only Fluffal that I'm playing 3 of. The rest are 2 of. Next is 2 Fluffal Bear. The Winnie the Pooh, because look, that scarf, that's obviously supposed to be the shirt, man. Oh, bother. But anyway, what he does is you can send him from your hand to the graveyard to add a toy vendor from your deck to search a toy vendor and set it. He also has the additional effect that if he's on the field, you can tribute him to add back a polymerization from your grave to your hand, but that's like, or I think that's his other effect, I don't even use it. But mostly, you're going to be discarding him to search the toy vendor. I'm not playing 3, mostly because, playing 3 cards to search the other cards, because that's really the only reason I use him. So, playing 3 toy vendors and then playing 3 of this, it could, well, not like clog, but, the numbers don't work so well, but recently I've been finding myself wanting to play 3 copies of him, so I probably will bump it up to 3 in the future. Oddly enough, I can't find my 3rd copy. So right now 2's fine, and I'm liking 2, but probably will be bringing it up to 3. Since the new cards, this is probably the new best one, but of course you can search for him with Dog and lots of other things. So a great first turn is Dog, Bear, Ditch Bear for Toy Vendor, and you're already 2 cards deeper into your deck, and then likely you're not going to stop from there. Then is 2 Fluffal Owl. I'm still using 2. I may cut this down to 1. He has a similar effect to Dog, that when he's normal or special summoned from the hand only, you can add a polymerization from your deck to your hand, so that's some great deck thinning. But he also counts as polymerization while on the field. Like, you pay 500 and then you can essentially polymerization, but only for a Fright for Fusion monster. So he's pretty decent. So if you can bring him back from the grave or normal summon him, or if you already use the polymerization, he at least has that. You can't use both of those. You can only use one of the effects per turn, but he's still good because this search out your one of the main fusion spells you play. But like I said, I'm probably going to bring this down to 1 and swap it for a bear. Then is 2 Fluffal Sheep. This is a great one. I was playing this at 3 for a while, but I saw it way too often, so I brought it back down to 2. What it does is, if you control a Fluffal, you can special summon it from your hand, and then while it's on the field, you can bounce another Fluffal you control to special summon an Edge Imp monster from your graveyard, so that helps if you happen to discard one of the other Edge Imps. Then you can use this to bring it back. Oftentimes you can say like normal summon an owl or a dog. Special the sheep. Sheep can bounce owl or dog to use later, or you can still fusion summon with them, and then this brings out one of your Edge Imps, and you can fuse with the Edge Imp and this, and then still have your owl or dog for next turn. Either way, there are lots of different plays that you can do. Yeah. And then the last two of his two Fluffal wings. This one is just so good. This Wings and Bear, that's not fair. Wings and Bear are best friends. They will always want to see each other. I'm only using 2 because, like I said, you can search it out. But this is another one I want to bring to 3. It's just a matter of getting the cards, and I only got 2 from the sneak peek. But I probably even will update this deck later this month, just because there's so much testing to do with it. Anyway, what Wings does is, while it's in the grave, you can banish it from the grave, plus one other Fluffal monster to draw 1 card, and then you can destroy 1 toy vendor card that you control. And then that will get the toy vendor search off. So pretty much going, where is it? Ditching Bear, search your toy vendor discard Wings, Wings banish, toy vendor either gets your search or not, maybe, or it gets your summon or not. Banish Bear and Wings from the grave, draw 1, destroy your toy vendor, draw another card, and then toy vendor gets its search. It's just, this card is amazing now. So, like I said, probably gonna bring this and Bear up to 3. Right now, it's fine at 2, but it probably will be to 3. Just depending on what you have, what you use, your preference. There's just so many factors into this deck right now. Like, people, so many people thought this deck wasn't going to be good at all, but it is so very complex, and as far as what you can do and what you can run. You can only use the effect once per turn also. So, but you can easily just plow through 3 toy vendors in 1 turn. And then just 1 rabbit, he's a basic effect. When he's sent to the graveyard for as fusion material, you get to add back a Fluffal or an Edge Imp Sabers from your graveyard to your hand, so he just helps with multiple fusions in 1 turn. That's it for Fluffals. You only play these guys. I've cut Cat. I'm not playing Mouse because he kind of uses up your normal summon when I'd rather just summon Dog or Owl. And although he does make some neat plays for Tiger and Wolf. Like I said, I would just rather go Dog, Bear, Toy Vendor, and then make that play. That's it for Fluffals. Now is the Edge Imp monsters, which are 3 Edge Imp Chain. Chain's got a great effect when it's sent from the hand or field to the graveyard. You get to add 1 Frightfur card from your deck to your hand. So anyone, it searches out your fusion, your counter trap card, and well, that's pretty much it. It's just so good. It's a great level 4, and it also has the effect that if it declares an attack, then you can add 1 Edge Imp Chain from your deck to your hand, so it kind of like adds more. But it won't be often that you'll have this in attack mode. Worst comes to worst, you'll set it probably. Mostly you're going to be discarding it off of Toy Vendor and then getting its effect, or fusion summoning with it and then getting its effect from there. This is probably one of the best ones because you plus off of it. From there it's just 2 Sabers. Sabers makes your best fusion monsters, and it's the Plague Spreader zombie effect, so top deck a card and special summon it from the grave. But aside from that, it's like it's mostly there for fusion material. 3 could be fine, but playing 3, I find myself just drawing into it way too much instead of stuff that I need. It is searchable, of course, with so many of the things you play, but 3's fine. And then I'm just using 1 Saw. I may cut the Saw, but Saw is like fine because you do use it for Leo, and Leo is pretty good. The worst case scenarios, you will have to use its normal summon effect, which is normal summon it, discard a Fluffal, draw 2 cards, and then put 1 card from your deck, from your hand, either on the top or bottom of your deck. It does set up Toy Vendor plays and get some things in the grave and kind of accelerate your deck, but mostly you'll just have it in the hand and to fuse with it should you get it, or ditch it and fight for fusion from there. That's all for the Edge Imps, just 6 of them. I cut Tomahawk because it kind of got in the way of just better plays that I could have made off of like a normal summon. Like I said, I'd just rather normal summon Dog and get my things going from there. I'm not using the Summoner Monk to bring out any of this because, like I said, I'd just rather normal summon Dog. Not using King of the Swamp either to substitute for any of these, just because, like I said, I can search any of these out, or not any of these out, but I don't know. I just don't exactly like King of the Swamp. mostly because discarding to search poly isn't always the best thing, and then drawing it, I would just rather draw other things that can search for sabers, because sabers is the better one, and then it's best to just get the actual chain because you plus off of that, and then teching one saw is like fine. There are just other reasons. Yeah, it's alright. I may try it more, but so far I don't exactly like it. I just like this lineup. That's it for monsters. Now for spells, the largest portion of it. I need some better way to show these off, but anyway, 3 Toy Vendor. This is a great card in the deck. It's been but now with wings, it's just so much better. So what it does is once per turn, you can discard 1 card and then draw and reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a Fluffal monster, you can special summon 1 monster from your hand. It doesn't have to be the Fluffal monster that you reveal, and it doesn't even have to be a Fluffal monster, period. Just reveal the Fluffal and then special summon 1 from your hand. Oftentimes, it will and should be the one that you reveal. And then it's got the additional effect that if it's sent to the grave, add 1 Fluffal or Edge Imp Sabers from your deck to your hand. It doesn't have the other Edge Imps, just the Sabers, and that's why 2 is fine, because we play so much search power for it. Like I said, with wings, it's just so much better because you can discard wings off of this, probably summon something, and then destroy this and get your search off of it, and draw with wings. It's just so good. If you do reveal something that's not a Fluffal, it just gets sent to the grave, which oftentimes isn't bad, because if you end up revealing, say, like a chain will get its effect, since it's from the hand, since you do draw the card first, and after that it's sent to the grave, and it gets sent from from the hand to the grave. After that, 3 Upstart Goblins, or Goblin Insolente, if you have Spanish copies like J Dasher. Anyway, the gaining 1,000 life points isn't so bad because, well, you can OTK and oftentimes make just exactly 8,000 with certain combos, but sometimes you can't get over that, and I found myself just wanting to draw extra cards, or just not draw certain cards, and this just is better because it does count as something extra. And sometimes if you reveal this off of Toy Vendor, which I found myself doing, you don't care so much because at least it gets out of the deck. And like I said, it's just the 37 card deck theory. From there, 2 MSTs. They work, of course, to clear your opponent's back row and pendulums, but they also work sometimes if you have to MST your own vendor to get the search off. That's not so bad because you do get your search off. Then 2 Fright for Fusions. This is the Miracle Fusion. You do have to banish monsters from your grave or from your field, so this just works better, not late game, but after you make your first fusion summon. So you can fusion summon one thing, use this, and then fusion summon another using the same materials. It's great. You can only activate 1 per turn. 2's fine because drawing into it, like I said, if you draw into this rather than stuff you want or need, it gets in the way. And of course we do play 3 chain to search it out, but you see it. Now for all the 1-ofs. All the 1-ofs are weird and I have no real way of showing them, so let me try this way out. Let's see. One double Cyclone, 1 Foliage Burial, 1 Instant Fusion, 1 Fright for Factory, 1 Polymerization, and 1 Dark Fusion. Okay, let's try to talk about all of this. Let's go double Cyclone first. You, of course, with your Toy Vendor, you can go ahead and destroy your own Toy Vendor and then one of your opponent's things and get your search off Toy Vendor. The other card, what's the word? Parallel Twister works also. Just don't have that, so you can use that instead. Although this is something I'm trying out and teching at the moment. It may come out in future builds, but right now I like it. Of course, worst comes to worst, discard for cost of Toy Vendor. The Foolish Burial, although you won't get your chain effect with it, it does help. Say you need to send like sabers to maybe Fright for Fusion with, or you can send your wings to get its effect off, or say you have wings in the grave and no other Fluffal, you can just go ahead and send any other Fluffal to the grave and then you can get its effect. So it just helps, and again it helps with thinning the deck because mostly you just want to draw all your stuff. Instant Fusion. One of the fusions is a level 5, so you can bring this out and then use it itself as fusion material. Or if you decide to play like Designer Fright Fur, you can get it on the field. Then it goes to the grave at the end of the turn, and then you can Designer Fright Fur it back. I'm not using Designer Fright Fur. That's just an option. And of course, Norden's a thing. Yeah, I play Aaron Norden because I do play 6 level 4s, and you can make some decent rank 4s off of that. The Fright Fur Factory, what this does is, while it's on the field, you can banish 1 fusion spell card or a polymerization. And it basically lets you fusion summon using this as the effect, just paying the cost of banishing, say, your Fright Fur Fusion, or even your Polymerization, Dark Fusion, or even your Instant Fusion. So you get some extra use out of this after you already use it, so it's decent. And also, if it's sent to the grave, then you can add one of your banished Fright Fur Fusions back to your hand. So, say you already used a Fright Fur Fusion, activate this, you get an extra Poly by banishing it, and if it gets destroyed, say you MST it or you double Cyclone it, you get this back to your hand to use next turn. So it's pretty nice in that way. And you can also search this off of chain. The polymerization, only 1 because you can search it off, and it's alright. And then the Dark Fusion, which I'm probably going to bring this up to 2, maybe even 3, just because oftentimes you can draw this, and it's so great. What it does, it's basically a polymerization, but only for a Fiend Fusion monster. All the Fright Furs are Fiend monsters, so you can easily bring that out. And then it's got the added effect that for the rest of the turn, that monster cannot be affected by, what's the exact wording? Is not affected by spells. Yeah, spells, monster, or traps by your opponent. So it basically makes him immune for the turn. And that's it for spells. For traps, it's pretty simple. For 1-ofs, 1 warning, 1 ring of destruction for extra monster removal. You can play whatever you want. I just went for warning because it's solid negation. And the ring of destruction because if you say use this, you can get rid of your opponent's monster, inflict some damage to them. You'll take some too, but on your turn you can just continue get rid of the rest of your damage with your wolf. And then after that, 2 breakthrough skill because you need some effect negation, and this works because if you discard it with Toy Vendor, then you can still get some use out of it, and or set it if you need to. Either way, it's versatile. And then 2 Fright Fur March. This is the brand new trap. It's so good. What it does is if one of your Fright Fur monsters is targeted by an effect, a spell monster or trap effect, then you can go ahead and negate that effect to destroy the card. And then after that, if you want, you can send that Fright Fur monster from the field to the graveyard and special summon 1 level 8 Fright Fur Fusion monster from your extra deck, and this counts as a fusion summon, but it's banished during the next turn, but it still helps with some great, amazing plays that you can do with that. That's it for main deck. Now for extra deck, just some basic rank 4s that you happen to play. Once again, my 101, I need to buy a new one because it's gone. But just whatever rank 4s, because you do play 6 level 4s, and sometimes you can get them in. Maybe play a rank 2 to, because you can normal summon Owl and special summon Sheep, and then you can get some decent plays off with there. But like just whatever exceeds monsters you have, the main important thing is a fusion. 1 Norden for the fusion stuff, for the instant fusion if you decide to use it on that. Depends heavily on the situation, and then you can make one of these guys. This Dweller is just an example, but it does work with this now. Then what I'm trying out for the fusions is 2 of each one, 2 sheep. Well, not 2 of each one, but these ones are 2 of each. The sheep, the wolf, and the tiger. Sheep is great because it's got an Armades effect, and if it's destroyed by your opponent's card, comes back and with a 800 extra attack, so it puts it at 2800, and it's very threatening that way. Wolf can attack depending on the number of materials it has, so you can easily OTK. Tiger gains 300 for every Fright Fur or Fluffal you have on the field, so it gets pretty big. And also it destroys a number of cards equal to the amount of materials used for it. So a great play is Polymerization for Tiger, blow up all their stuff, and then after that Fright Fur Fusion, banish the same stuff you used for Wolf, and then get some big attacks. Sheep requires Chain plus 1 Fluffal, any 1 Fluffal monster. Wolf requires Sabers plus 1 or more. Fluffal. Tiger requires Sabers plus 1 or more. That's it for the 2 ofs. The rest, 1 ofs. Fright Fur Bear is alright. I may take it out, or I may keep it in if you add in. It's mostly there like if you get the chance, but mostly if you decide to play Fusion Conscription or Fusion Reserve to search out your bear or sabers. I'm not using it just because, like, well, Conscription restricts me from using its effect that turn, and then Reserve is a trap, which is a bit slower, and mostly I just want all my stuff turn 1, but you can play them if you want to, so Bear's there. You should be playing Bear if you decide to use those cards. And then 1 Leo, because Leo is good. It's basically Volcasaurus, but it does need Saw, so that's why I'm using the 1 Saw. Or, I guess, you know, King of Swamp, again, it's all preference and how the rest of it goes. The deck is just so customizable because of that. So you can use that if you want. 1 Fright for Chimera, because you can do that, and with Fright for March, you can easily summon this and just get a huge beater. It has some amazing effects, but I'm kind of running out of time, so I discussed that in my other videos. And then this is, again, another Chimera, but it should be the Sabertooth. Sabertooth, I don't get why it wasn't Ultra, but somehow it was. So get the Sabertooth. I'll be getting mine soon. I just want this profile to be up soon. But at least 2 level 8s to summon off the this, and then of course the Instant Fusion does help with Sabertooth, especially. I guess you can keep it with Chimera. If you can't get Sabertooth, then that's fine. You don't need it, but one of them does help, so this one should be a Sabertooth. And that's it for extra. So anyway, that has been it for the Fluffal deck post. What is it? What was the set that just came out? Dimension of Chaos, yeah. It's pretty fun, and it's so much better now with wings, and then adding extra bears. It's just such a fun deck, but it can be good. Of course, you saw recently they topped in like Louisiana, but I feel like we may even see more tops now that Wings is out, and it just helps with drawing and adding more. Like I said, it's completely customizable because there are just a lot of different options that you can do and to add and to take out. But this is the build that I'm using. I'd like to hear your suggestions, and I really will be changing the deck up, probably even this month, later this month, just because of how much I'm working on it and how much fun I'm having with it so far. Anyway, if you enjoyed the content, remember to subscribe. Also leave a like and a comment to show your support. This has been King of Feral Imps. Have a nice day.